musicians from Troy. It's about to rain like a real quick, one thing is my wind chimes are going off. I'll show you those real nice here. Hey. I'm gonna stay out in the rain because it's beautiful. The pups just ate. I have an insane amount of things going on health-wise. I think I need to see an immunologist for the cottonwood trees out here in Colorado are kicking my ass, and so I've had today off. Also, if you haven't had the Gen 2 iPods or AirPods, sorry, they're really cool. I'm not going to open them up because they'll link to my phone right here. But I've got my previous phone. I actually use this specifically for songs. I'll look up ultimate guitar. Woo. Okay, it's blowing the. Damn, it's crazy. I'll get on here and I'll go to ultimate guitar. Well, it's loading now. I need to turn that offloading apps feature in the settings off. But I basically made it a point to have this phone to just be my music creation phone. If I truly needed this, woo, okay. I'm gonna hold on to this umbrella. Oh man. All right, let me take this down real quick. Hold on. Let me turn this shit around. There we go. So it won't catch the wind as much, hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, that'll be better. So it'll rain on just me. On my phone. But these are, back to my point, these are really good. I always try to have them charged up. I always try to have a charger in my vehicle, so that I can use them for earplugs. They're medical grade. They are medical grade hearing aids as well. I've had to. Okay, so the wind's not too bad. Put this back on there. Nice. Or back up. Okay, there we go. All right. But yeah, they're medical grade hearing aids. They're really powerful. I can stick them in when I'm at a show. I can use them to record on my phone as I'm doing something on my other phone. So that's the advantages. A lot of people don't really want to go into that territory except for like, or not except, but like specifically because in relationships, if you have like a burner phone or something like that, they're like, oh, why do you have two phones? You know, this one, you can't get calls on this one. Okay, this is the old phone. There's no SIM card in it. But what up, Vanya? What up, TTPIG? Double T to the PIG. Hey, I love it. Hi, what up? First commenter, TTPIG. Hell yeah. Chill guy. What up, chill guy? Fulton is not okay. Okay. All right. That sounds, I don't know who that is. Is that a character from The Lord of the Rings? All right, Cod Cheyenne. What up, dude? Or dudette. I see, I can't see your profile picture. But this is a tool. We're going to get to this in a second. The nail kit, right? It's badass Revlon men's nail kit, right? Who knew metal had sex? Is this a male or a female? It says Revlon men's series. So I've had this for a while. I've actually done some skincare additions. So I got a cuticle ripper as well in here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there you go. It's protected right now because I'll stab myself with it quickly. But I also have these. These are from Sally's right here. They're really good. You got to take care of your skin too. This is kind of, pushing back the cuticle. This is this tool right here. It's really, really solid of a tool. I didn't really know this. As a man, we're not taught to take care of ourselves. We're not taught to, put lotion on our skin. But as musicians, as committed musicians, we need to give a fuck about ourselves, We need to have ear protection always during band practice, right? During outings, on planes. Even, when you're driving, have like a 6 or a 9 dB. I have a 19 just because I have tinnitus, but yeah, the Gen 2 earpods, there's a little bug on me. Whoa, is that a praying mantis? No, I don't know what the hell. It's got a siphoning proboscis right there. That's crazy. See that? It's probably gonna fly away. It looks like the tiniest praying mantis / assassin bug, which is a true bug. I was an entomologist in the Air Force before I went into music full time and got my associate's degree in guitar performance and songwriting, music theory, all that stuff. Yeah, it has looks like a piercing proboscis or a fuck you up mouth part. That's crazy. Let's see if I can get him zoomed in here. That's insane. I'm gonna make a wish. Oh, he's on. Damn. He was on good. He's right here. He's right here. He's good. He's safe. There he is. Anywho, let's focus on the nail cutting now. Can you dial 911? All you motherfucking trolls out there. Adrian the gamer. That's fucking hilarious. Cracking me up. So, yeah, so this Revlon men's nail care series, you can push your cuticles up. I play the fretboard with my left hand. This is my left hand. This is my right, just in case it's flipped. But I want to see what you guys are saying so I can kind of chime in and comment on any questions. But yeah, you do want to push your nails up like this. Mine are just long enough to fuck me up and for me to get a wrong note, especially on the F major bar chord all across the first fret, right? So, yeah, so you're going to want to push your cuticle back and kind of round the edge like this. I'm going to do it real slow. So you're going to go from the corner to the inside, right? Or to the center. Corner to center, all on this side, corner to center. Right, so what this does is it lifts your cuticle, but there's also skin deposits of your nail bed actually growing out, right? And so you want to clean that off. And then I usually use this to kind of go opposite way. You can go the same way, but it's kind of like a pipe that always flows this way with whatever contents it has, especially with cars, right? Sometimes you need to backwash it or, have a pressure washer and get all that material coming outside of it, like a coolant flush, any sort of high pressurized flush. Not necessarily true for the nail bed, but it does need to be clean. And so, and this is for men, this is the tip for women. If you're intimate with a woman, you need to fucking clean your nails. I'm telling you, dudes out there, you need to have expert care of your nails. The joke is that's why women like guitarists, right? Because they're good with their hands. But I'm a drummer. I'm good with my tongue, my mouth, my beatboxing. That was one of the first skills that I learned as a guitarist because I didn't know any fucking drummers. Everybody that played drums lived, too far away, so it was like I didn't know him. So I really had to learn how to do things without a looper. My first looper was the Boomerang 3, and then it was the Ditto, the little tiny $102 looper. What up, Cody Sabatino? Sabatino, hey, claro que sí. That's a cool last name, Cody. Hell yeah. What up, dude? Let me say hi to you. Let's see if I can do it. Ah. I thought I could wave to you, dude. Well, throw the peace sign right there. So yeah, anywho, it behooves you as a man to play an instrument. One, it allows you to become committed to something that's not a date, it's not your job, it's not your school, right? And if you can formulate what you do in music, and it be active, because it is work, no bullshit around that, right? But if you can turn that around and reframe that in your mind, that work that you do as a committed musician is play, holy shit, that's the game changer. If you get to play every day, if you got up in the morning and you watched Saturday morning cartoons like I did, it was like 5:30 in the fucking morning. That's insane. That's totally insane. Why would anybody do that? Right? Why would anybody put wood inside of an old drum? My old bass drum, right? Why? I don't know. It looked cool. Right? You gotta have fun with things. You gotta risk getting knocked over. All right, it's starting to, the birds are like, okay. Oh, now it's starting to hail. Look. Ah, that's cool. It's a little baby hail. I'll catch some for you guys. Oh, I got a drop. Damn, that's crazy. Speaking of the devil, right? So there aren't angels and devils. Yes, it's us. We're the greatest evil and the greatest good that the world can ever know. Our world can ever know. So what we need to do as committed musicians is fucking take this seriously. And then from that discipline, right, as a committed musician, right, doing the best that you can. Let's say you're just starting out beatboxing, you're playing bass, you're playing with one finger on the guitar, you're playing one finger here, one note at a time, strum that one string. If you have one string on your guitar, you need to master that, right? You need to have fun with it. You need to, and the point of having fun with it, right, is you need to work at it until it masquerades as fun, right? That's really fucking hard to do, but creating systems of learning for yourself or rule sets. If you leave the front door, this goes with you. You always have your earplugs on you as a committed musician. Don't leave home without them. It's not Visa everywhere we want to be, right? It's not fucking Sean Connery. All of the advertisements will fuck with us. It will take us out into consumerist, capitalist mindset to where you keep on spending on shit you don't need. This is an investment. This is an investment in your golden ears, right? If you start mixing and producing your own music, which you should normally go into, you should learn a DAW or a digital audio workstation. It doesn't matter if it's Reaper. You can download this for free. It doesn't matter if it's an industry standard. I personally, I'm not going to mention any names, but what I use is Logic Pro X. It's a step up from GarageBand. You can still use GarageBand. You can still track anything. And your best asset, like those AirPods, right? Those Gen 2 AirPods, it's a badass microphone. If you don't want to invest in a badass microphone, you're not going to get the best quality in which you can capture through proximity effect, right? The literal spacing in between your voice or your instrument and the microphone, right? Oh, my allergies are fucking killing me. So much pressure here. But I really want to get this information out. It's so important, right? So like taking care of your nails and getting this cuticle pusher upper, right? And getting off the nail bed. I'm going to start doing this as I'm talking now so we can kind of get to the point of the cutting. There's a specific method that one of my ex-girlfriends, Rachel, she told me about, and it's really helped me to develop this method of cutting my nails, which there's a specific way that I do it, and I'll definitely show you and take time as I cut all 10 of my nails. But if you're at a show and, worst case scenario, we're talking about solutions here. Real committed musicians trying to find real solutions within the context of time, right? Depends on if you're at a gig, if you're at home, if you're at practice, if you're at your lesson, if you're at band practice, right? If you're in rehearsals with your bandmates, right? All these different things, right? So those times really depend on, or what you do as far as your nails really depend on where you're at. So I've been at a gig where I forgot to cut my nails. This is real talk. It's no bullshit. As a committed musician, you have to be willing to fuck up. You have to be willing to serve the greatest good that you can do. GTY, right? Greater than yourself. Helicopter, the local hospital here, really beautiful. It's got like red and orangish yellow, like a burnt yellow color scheme to it. But yeah, sorry about that. We are outside, right? Well, we're in the reality of it. We're in the thick of it, right? So getting to the point, I've cut my nails. I've bit my nails at a show before because I knew I wouldn't be able to play as good as in practice, right? When you're writing a song, right, you have a demo. It's an idea, right? And then once you get that idea and you take it to a demo, right, then you have the demo of the idea, and then you have to practice and set up the structure for that song, right? And then the structure from the idea becomes a song, right? And if we have to be really critical of what constitutes the best songs that we could possibly make, right? Because if we just listen to every idea, right, then there's gonna be like, there was a famous producer and he talked about like, he's talking about like, I think it was a Soundgarden song, and he goes, oh hey, what I don't know if it was Steve Albini, but I can't remember his name. But Rick Beato, he interviewed him, and he said this is actually 3 different songs. And so one of those songs was "Black Hole Sun, won't you come and wash away the rain? Black Hole Sun, won't you come, won't you come?" Talking about, now we're talking about a badass lyric, right? Da 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 da. Right? There's a lot of modulation or modulatory things within that melodic line, right? But we're talking about lyric writing, right? Things that have tails on them. Allow that lyric, allow that line, right? That word to have a tail on the end of it, right? So, as we get I get up my nails ready to cut. I'm gonna get these cuticles all taken care of, and just be thinking about that as a committed musician. All you got to do now is find out how to have fun with the work that you're doing on your respective instrument. You don't have to be a badass on your instrument to be professional, right? All you need to do, there's some build up on this middle finger. Hey. So right at the nail bed, it's not coming up. There's little waves. So I want to clear that off. So that my nail can grow. And also, so, I mean, you're going to have to cut your nails a little bit more often. As we're hitting the 20-minute mark for this lesson, we're only going to go to 30 minutes. Maybe take this show inside. 'Cause it's coming down a little bit more with the rain. But yeah, I mean, this is self-care. It doesn't fucking make sense that I'm outside in the rain right now. That I'm sick, that like my allergies are kicking my ass, right? I shouldn't be talking, I should preserve my voice, right? All these things. But life will make you say quit at every fucking point. It sucks. What the, I always say, Mother Nature's a badass. She doesn't take a day off. She doesn't go, oh, I'll practice tomorrow, or I don't feel like it, or we've been in the studio too long, right? Or this is getting too expensive, right? But it's more expensive to... Where are my puppies? Oh, they're probably inside. They went inside. Hey, what up, pups? What up, little puppers? Little badass mother puppers. No stay? Inside. Good puppies. I'm talking about hand signals, right? Boom. Boom. Inside. Inside. Good stay. I was just checking to see where you guys are at. Good. You're good, stay. They're just kind of checking in on me. We'll see if they listen, right? Just gotta test it. So, anywho, that's for my dog training channel. But all right, so essentially, after you get, I'm just gonna do the left hand right now. I'm lucky I have a black surface, so I can actually see my nails. But yeah, you're gonna push your cuticle back, the skin. It's gonna hurt a little bit, but it shouldn't hurt too bad, right? It shouldn't be bleeding. It should be nothing of the sort, right? But you just want to kind of get that out of there. You're trying to maintain the authenticity of your nail bed, and I know that's a unusual word to say, but you want to clear that nail bed out. You want to wash your hands after you do this, right? Sometimes you can get this cuticle cutter right here. If you get something kind of stuck in there, and you can kind of catch it up underneath the nail bed, and you can get hangnails. Like here's a hangnail that's kind of developing, right? It's really hard to do this as I'm filming, but I'm not like stab myself to death, but you can get up underneath there. I'm gonna do it from this angle. Yeah, there we go. And just gently get it right there, just incremental, right? Incremental movement. You don't want to get cut by one of these cuticle rippers. They're fucking painful. I don't like them. I'd rather go into somewhere and take care of this, which I've done a mani-pedi before. As a man, it's one of the most liberating things that you can do. It actually makes you feel more masculine, but it also puts you in touch with your divine feminine. Ooh, I got a 20% on my battery. It also what I was trying to say, I don't know if it cut off, but it also puts you in touch with your divine feminine, about those feminine and masculine traits. You never, as a fully realized person, we're talking about personhood, right? Whether you're male or female, you need to have aspects of the self, right? Of the psyche, of integrating the shadow self. The shit you don't want to look at is in the cave where the riches and the royalty and all the prizes and the winning the lotto and becoming rich and all those stupid fucking things that we aggrandize, right? That's the cave in your own mind that you refuse to go in. I don't want to do a manicure. I don't want to pay for that. That's wasting money, right? Or I don't want to do this. I'm wasting time out here. I'm in the rain, right? I should be inside. You need to go inside. It's dangerous out here, right? You could get struck and killed by lightning. All the things of fear that are warranted, right? They've protected us within the context of the history and the time frame of all of humanity, right? But right now we're here, and we need to self-soothe. We need to do self-care, and this is part of self-care. Buying a $30 kit or whatever this Revlon kit was. I'm not sponsored. I don't have a link in the description. I don't have any of that bullshit. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in long-form content that you can watch and do something else, do the dishes, and listen to me talk about how to become a more committed musician. And it's not hard. It's just daily, small, consistent effort over the course of your entire lifetime. Taking care of yourself, eating whole foods, eating clean foods, so that you feel good enough to sit out here in the rain because you've had early morning sun, at least 15 minutes a day, right? You've had a writing session for lyrics, and you've had a jam session to kind of get loosey-goosey with whatever your instrument is, right? It could be a snare pad that's really quiet, right? I used to have an X pad from ProMark, I think, that was really good. It had like BBs inside underneath. It was blue with a black wooden outline and a carrying handle, a base for it, not an outline. One of the most beautiful tools I've ever had. Also, I'm going to show you an app that I use as part of my daily routine every day. I post a picture or I record something. It doesn't have to be, it almost shouldn't be musical. That way you can have it. You can kind of save the energy for when you're in the recording studio, right? And for when it counts, right? When the red button, boop, that record button, red means R means record. When that's going, you need to focus on your heart, focus on the things that matter, and put your money where your mouth is, right? And to actually have some good time management aspects. They've updated this is called How We Feel, and it's a feelings check-in, right? And you check in. Yeah, they're chilling in there. They didn't come out. My puppies. Yeah. But what I do is I check in, and you actually have 4 different options. High energy, unpleasant, if you're really feeling like shit, right? High energy, pleasant, if you're feeling real good, right? You got a drink, right? If you got your favorite soda, whatever it is, right? You got some fried okra, like I'm gonna get. Low energy, unpleasant, right? If you have absolutely no energy, you're depressed, you're sad, right? These have breakout points too as you click on them. And then low energy, pleasant, right? If you're just calm and chill, you're introverted, you're in the studio, you're trying to get something done, you're trying to talk about a certain feeling sense, right? And as we get to the 30-minute marker, look at that. You can actually access all of them, all of these emotions. Red and orangish yellow, green and blue, right? They kind of center on like angry, right? High energy, unpleasant could be angry, right? That's why it's red. High energy, pleasant is orange, which in the colors personality test, if you look the colors personality test up, there's actually 4 or 5 colors, I believe. But orange is high energy, pleasant. This is Tom Cruise. This is low energy, pleasant is Albert Einstein. That's some of the examples that they've given, but try this out. Yeah, chill. They actually each of them have little ways in which they formulate. Let's go to scared. Scared is an X, right? So you've got all these tools right here. I encourage you, I double dog dare you to fucking download this app called How We Feel. I think it's free. It's definitely worth it. And let's get to the nail portion. So with your nail, I'm gonna stand up for this because I got 10 seconds left. Yeah, we'll go over, fuck it. It's my channel, I can do whatever the fuck I want. So you're gonna make basically a triangle with your nail, right? It's gonna go at the very center of your nail, and you're almost gonna make a triangle like that, right? So we're gonna start at the edges of your cuticle, and wherever that goes, you're not so much concerned with how much you cut off on the very tip, but you do want to be able to pick up your pick off the ground, right? I don't know if I have that extra pick in here. I do, right? So you do want to have a lip to pick up that pick just a little bit, right? So don't cut your nail too far. Like this is, I'm gonna demonstrate on the biggest nail, right, on my left hand, the thumb, and I am gonna purposely cut it the way I told you not to cut it, because I want to show you how much nail you need to have. So it's probably just under, but maybe right at 1 millimeter, right? It's gonna be right there. That's all of my nail. Let's see if I can. Yeah, that's how much my nail has grown, which is about 2 to 2.5 millimeters. Maybe just 2 millimeters. But I want to cut that in half, basically. Right? And then I want on the sides, for that advice for men out there, your women will thank you if you use your hands at all when you're intimate, even to embrace your woman, right? Or your partner, right? If you take care of your nails and you don't have any sharp burrs on there, and you round your nails off, right? You want to round your nails off, just matching the shape of your actual nail bed at the pink part, right? Okay, so you can see, like on this nail, looks like I had a break there. It's just not growing right there, and it's growing a little bit more rounded there. So that's probably because I haven't been taking care of my nail bed as good as I need to on this specific nail. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut this here straight to decide my nail length. I'm gonna put all my nail clippings inside my kit, right? And control those. And then I'm gonna go to my nail bed. I'm gonna bring it in. I'm gonna push it in. So I'm this bottom part right here, I'm actually on the underside of my skin. I'm not only just touching the nail bed, right? What up, Marianne Barnett? So this is a video for guitarists to keep our nails healthy, specifically for the left hand. If as we're using the fretboard, that when you get long nails on the fretboard, this is the view that I view from top, right, as I'm looking down at my guitar, right? And this is the fretboard, right? As my nails go on the fretboard, right, like that, the nail and its length prevents me from getting the tip, the edge, and even sometimes the pad of my finger on the actual string and on the actual note that I want to play. So doing this method, you're cutting a little bit more off from the side, right? And you're gonna have to clean up your nail here. Here's a little bit right there, right, that I need to clean up. But there we go. Get that little nail back in there. But this is the way to not cut your nail too short. You're deciding on the arc right here. This is what you're doing, right? You're wanting to decide how much you're taking off, and you're matching the length that you first cut off of your nail, right? And you're gonna round this off with the tool I'll show you upstairs that I use. I forgot to bring it down, but you don't want much. Okay, that's funny, that one didn't make a sound. Anywho, so you're gonna see your nail is a little bit like a trapezoid. Boom, 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 right? You're gonna round that off. And you're gonna clean up underneath your actual nail right there. Okay? I'm gonna do the same for all these. I'm gonna do them real quick. It should only take you a minute. It should take you 3 seconds per nail. All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sometimes I do more, but I'm just gonna do it real quick. And so I go largest to smallest because it's really easy to cut off too much if you start with your pinky. So, put that in there. It's funny. Extra pick in your nail care kit. But yeah, as you can see, this one's a little bit longer even, so I can kind of take a little bit more off that. But not much. We're talking about like an eighth to a fourth or a quarter of a millimeter, right? That's not a lot. But with those increments, with those measurements, 2 millimeters for you might not think that that's that much, but that will definitely prevent you from actually fretting the note and you know getting to the note within the groove, within the pocket, within the time set, the mind frame, the vibe of what you're doing as a committed musician, right? And so it's these menial bullshit, everyday, boring ass, shitty tasks that we have to do to promote positive self-care, but also to become, you know, more professional and to, you know, this is something that I fought with. I would always bite my nails, you know, real talk. And it was, well, I don't know if it was an unhealthy habit, but it was a habit that could have been replaced with a healthier habit. Let's just say that. I could have leveled up a few steps, but as a last resort, you know, you can do that at a show. I usually go left to right on my back teeth and lock it in, bite it, lock it in, and then rip it. Rip the nail off, you know, in between my teeth. That's another video for another day. But yeah, and it didn't even, you know, from the nearly 40 minutes that I've been filming, the rain passed, you know. I didn't get fucking struck by lightning. I have a beautiful, gigantic umbrella overhead. It doesn't have an arc to it that I think. Let's see. I don't think it has. Oh, maybe it does have an arc. Let's see. I don't want to break it, but yeah, it looks like there's a little break point. Let's see. Whoops. Whoopsie. Well. Some of them, this umbrella doesn't do it, but some of them have. See, there's like a point right here, but it looks like it breaks and tilts to have like a nice little tilt to it. But yeah, that ain't it. Anywho, I'm gonna do my other nails here real quick. It's getting a little bit low light, but and sometimes you can kind of see where and how much is off of that. That's a really good example. I'm glad that happened like that. All right, that's all I'm taking off. That's all it takes to be unprofessional and miss a note and fuck it up. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna honor that. I'm gonna keep on continuing with that angle. All right, I'm gonna put my nail in there, and I'm gonna see. I'm gonna use that other nail to measure this one. right? And you can see the little bit that I took off of that, right? Just a little bit. Pick up all these nails. Some people think that nails, or at least finding someone else's nail, is gross. You know, if you share a bathroom with someone, but I don't. It's not gross to me. It's just, I think that's another way that we as humans shame each other. Is we're like, ew, that's gross. Whether it's burping or farting or nails or hair. Some people shame people for their hair, which is fucking weird. But yeah, I mean, you could pick up nails like this. I like doing that. Boom, boom, boom. And also, what I'm going to do, I know this is outside, but I've got some disinfectant wipes inside, right? On the table. I just got through cleaning yesterday, right? So what I want to do, I'm gonna clean this little area up right here. Because it's about sanitization, too. It's about, you know, yes, cleaning underneath the nail bed so you don't have infections or any sort of bacteria growing, right? Because just because you can't see it, right? That's the mind fuck of all this. Is like, okay, we can't see bacteria. We can't see, you know, I just, for instance, I just got back from, I dropped my pup off for an emergency blood screening, and his blood sugar was low. So they told me to feed him a bunch of different meals throughout the day. And that would help with his blood sugar. And if he went into a seizure and had a seizure, to do caro oil or honey, or maple syrup, and only rub it on his gums. Don't make him ingest it, they said, but to rub it on their gums. Like, these are I'd never heard that, you know? And so I'm a part of a Facebook community that is for vets only. Only veterinarians can respond. And people post all sorts of medical issues for pets, and then they close down the comments. You can comment on a on a post. You have to be a veterinarian. And then they tell the people that are posting to leave that up there, right? Leave that up there so people can actually learn from what the hell is going on with their pet and how to save their own pet, you know? So BBSs, or bulletin board systems, were early internet aspects of, you know, it was usually professors at universities, and they would compare analysis and information and studies and proofs and papers, you know, findings that they were working on, and they would use that bulletin board system, or the BBS, like in the same ways that we use chat features today, like we're using now. I see all your chats down there. That's so rad, you guys. I'm so grateful that you're getting a lot out of this. And there's 2 comments held for review. That's funny. So as we wrap this video up, see if I made any mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fuck up. It's not okay to get in your own way and to let those fuck ups and mistakes ruin your life. I know we're just talking about nail care and self-care, but either you is or you ain't. There ain't no in between, you know. And smiles is free, you know. Those are 2 pieces of badass advice that I got. The smiles is free was from my manager at McDonald's before I went into the military as an entomologist. Studied bugs for a living. They paid for my school, you know. I owe my country a lot. We're not doing too fucking great. But, you know, that's my goal as a committed musician, with my music personally, is to heal with my music, to tell stories that have pain in them, but they have resolutions through healing. And so that's what you need to do as well as a committed musician, is to write out your personal mission statement, create an LLC for you, for all of the music that you produce, all of the beats that you make, all of those are original ideas. All of that is intellectual property, or IP. And these PROs is what they're called, these performance rights organizations. CD Baby was one of the first ones, TuneCore, DistroKid, the ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC, which is over SESAC. CSAC is European based, but they're like BMI or ASCAP here, ASCAP. And those are the two North American organizations. I'm with BMI personally. And then I have DistroKid. I have 5 different accounts for 5 different artists that I manage. 2 of them are me, and then 3 of them are for artist packages to do ghostwriting with. So I have a friend, Kira. She's so rad. We're both collaborating on a song. I'm her feature, she's my feature, right? And so it's ubiquitous, right? There's reciprocity within the music industry. And it starts with things like this. I'm going to take all these out. I'm going to vacuum this out. I'm going to clean my tools, right? Clean all my tools. And actually, we're fucking outside right now. These can go back to the earth. Just like me, just like you. We're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. And we want it to make it great. So from one committed musician to another, peace, stay committed, and keep writing your ideas. Make voice notes of those ideas. Label them. Be meticulous in your understanding of what the structure of a song is. What types of riffs you're creating. If it's more of a rhythm-based riff on guitar, or if it's a lead-based melodic, usually if it has a lot of more melodic movement, right? Through the sap B, the soprano, the alto, the tenor, the bass, right? That's usually a soprano part, right? That we sing in a choral setting or a choir setting, right? This is a scale, right? All wind chimes access a scale, and it's randomized based on the wind, right? So your notes matter, note identification, knowing the notes, getting out a piano or a small little battery-powered piano that I have on the piano that I use here at my home. Right? I'm listening to all these notes, and they have certain lengths, right? On this wind chime. This one's beautiful. I have one over here. It's not really going off right now. But when it does, it's usually in the afternoons, or early mornings. It's really beautiful. And so I encourage you to become more committed, and to that's on you. But also, taking it a step further, is to find a music mentor. Find someone that plays way better than you and learn everything that you can from them. Like, don't fuck around with that. If you have someone in your life that is like, that person for me is my buddy JJ, Jonathan Joy Bear. He gave me that advice. He said, and he knew the guys in Typo Negative. He knew, he was from Louisiana. He frequents that area, and goes back home often with his wife and his kids. And like, he gave me that advice of, like, play and jam with people that are way better than you, if they let you, right? Some people don't fucking let you, and they gatekeep, and they're, oh man, I can't be associated with you. all that bullshit, and it's not fair, it's not fucking cool. But they don't owe you anything. That's the sucky thing about it, is that you have to seek out a music mentor that gives a damn about and has a vested interest in you as a friend personally. And then um, go into, you know, hanging out and jamming together. You know, that's one of the basic functionalities of being a professional committed musician is can you survive during a jam? Can you hear and note identify? You know, identify those notes and know what a 1-4-5 is in every key. You know, what is the root? The 1 is the root. Okay, the 4 and the 5 are major as well. The 1, 4, 5, and 8 are all major chords in a key signature, right? In the key of C. The 2, the 3, and the 6